and look at the blind bands. It is exactly the same. Chipper, Fade coming out from State Green, and Keeper the Force Wild Soul from One Trick Pony, and Ophelia, their first lock. So, again, it definitely goes back to that case of Ophelia in her own right, of course, just still a very powerful hero no matter what, but especially if you get that combo. So, in my mind for OTP, it's like, let's just make sure they don't get that combo at the very least here now.
Yeah, well, it's just, I think Ophelia in general, yeah, she's a great jungler, and she can be played offensively, and I still feel that SG could have ran that offensive tri-lane. But it honestly, it didn't really matter, because as long as you got the levels up onto Master of Arms and Ophelia, then you'd be able to start grouping up and pushing, and like you saw, there was just nothing that OTP could do, even when they had the experience in gold lead. And then also Rally, he was just so damn tanky. Similar to like, well, in the case that we saw before where it was like Electrician. It's just another tanky hero that kind of sits up in the front and tries to screw with them, while you know, Master of Arms and the rest of the team with Ophelia creeps are pounding into the tower.
Yeah. So, you do look at the lock so far. I did have to clear my chat right there. I apologize. But you see the visual on your screen. You got the Ophelia first lock, the Glacius Wretched Hag to follow, and there's your Tempest Magmus coming out right here. So now One Trick Pony. It's either, do you lock up that Master of Arms now, maybe planning to get it yourself, or do you just even perhaps want to ban it here? Because, again, if he does happen to get through, you could definitely see Stay Green first picking that Master of Arms. So that's where kind of I think OTP's at right now, as far as how they want to approach him. So
I would definitely lock Master of Arms, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, gives them the chance to pick it up themselves, of course. That or Ophelia.
Yeah, well, you just want to separate the two, honestly.
Yeah.
Or if you're not going to lock it here, you got to ban it if you're OTP. So, but I would personally lock it so that you have access to it if you need or if you want. But they're going to lock up Meraxis. Okay, that tells me that they really should ban out Master of Arms. I mean, SG, if it goes unbanned, I guarantee you Master of Arms will get first picked by them.
Yeah, that's definitely where I was leaning. So it's a case of Fuzi here making sure to use one of his 3 bans on that Master of Arms now to come out. Zephyr going to be the first ban from Stay Green. There's Pebbles, so kind of going along here between these two sides. Again, MOA, the one we're really looking at there. Draconis. There's Engineer, so 2 more to go. 1 more in OTP. It ain't happening just yet. Here from you would only expect it on OTP.
Maybe they're just getting them excited, thinking that they can actually pick it up. Like, oh my God, one more ban.
So it's like, oh, it's actually going to happen. Ah, you disappoint me. So again, 1 more ban on the other side, and then we're good to go. Obviously, with this match here, just a quick reminder on that, this is a best of 3 here, losers bracket finals. So you lose here, you finish 3rd place, as we're talking about. If you win here, you are going to be playing Trademark Esports. Later on today, TDM will have that 1-0 advantage, as they should, coming from the winners bracket in a best of 5, though. So definitely looking forward to that matchup, of course, too. Tundra, the final ban from Stay Green. Here it is, the moment of truth. Look at all those right-click Moon Queens over there, by the way, from Stay Green.
Maybe even tells me that they want to take Moon Queen first.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I really think that the Master of Arms Ophelia combination is so damn strong.
Even Kazu agrees. So it's, I mean, that's the thing. It's, do you take the risk now? Do you not ban MOA? Sure, they may just first pick that Moon Queen, and then you could still get it yourself. But it's a risk. It definitely is.
Well, I tell you, it'll definitely make their decision making pretty easily, depending on what. Or depending on if OTP bans out Moon Queen or Master of Arms.
See, now that would be, that almost would be, I feel like kind of a bad thing if they ban. Okay, it is going to be Moon Queen.
That's a Master of Arms.
And yeah, it has to be.
Yep,
I mean, you already see it being right-clicked. It's like, okay, we got it. Now, obviously, the other team can't see all those right clicks, but there you go. It's, you know, we saw it coming a mile away. From the end of the lock-picking stage all the way through the bans, and sure enough, first pick Master of Arms coming out for Stay Green. So you can safely assume, honestly, that they're even going to pick up that Ophelia. Now, I will say, you know, kind of a good thing here for OTP is that they do have Glacius in that lock pool with the Ophelia there, so at least that's something.
It's something, but it's good as a defensive measure if they're going to try lane aggressively, which I normally don't see SG do. They didn't do last game either. Torture Bubble's okay. I guess they're thinking right now is they're going to need some anti-push that's presumably going to come out from SG. And you already see SG right-clicking some things that they worked out last game. Now, Deadwood, is he actually left unbanned? Yeah, he is. And they were also right-clicking. Okay, so it's going to be a Luna and then Deadwood. So this is exactly what I've seen them do in their scrims lately. And they're basically giving them the lineup that they want. This is the lineup that not only that they're most comfortable with, but it's also available. So, yeah, kind of scary here early on in the drafting stage.
What is it going to be, an aggressive pseudo trial? Anything from Stay Green with Ophelia first pick?
No,
in
I
the
think
lock
it's
pool,
going to be
or?
Deadwood solo short, MOA Luna mid,
Okay.
Ophelia in the jungle, and then either Wretched Hag or Magnus top.
Okay.
They run Magnus as their suicide a lot. A lot.
Well, one trick pony. They got their final pick here. Not a team that's known for running carries the most, so we'll see if they go for one here. I mean, perhaps that silhouette it isn't going to be, though. They're going to go Pharaoh, and they love Pharaoh, too. They make that point time and time again. So Pharaoh going to be the final pick for them. But, yeah, this has to be Ophelia. You just can't see it not being, really, from Stay Green.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if
Okay,
it's not.
there you go. So I was a little bit wondering there, actually. It wasn't a snap pick, but there you go. Sure enough, it's Ophelia. So again, the Glacius is there. Like you were saying, it's not the ultimate answer, especially in this game, but by all means, it still is a solid hero against Ophelia. So it is going to be Glacius and Magnus themselves to finish it off. And so you were talking about the possibility maybe that Wretched Hag now as that final hero here for that suicide option. So, Stay Green. I think it's safe to say Stay Green definitely got a very comfortable lineup of theirs.
Yeah.
And they're happy they got. OTP, that's not to say, just like last game, I mean, OTP, still, they have a good lineup. But,
I don't know.
do they?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think it has any late game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to lack in the laning phase because you're just going to get dodged by SG. And I don't think Pharaoh's that great against Ophelia. I really don't. Not to mention Ophelia Master of Arms. You hook in. Ophelia has lots of creeps, too, that makes it a little annoying. Actually, yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. So, but if you hook in, you get the wall off, you try to get a kill onto somebody from long range away, the heal comes out from Ophelia, the defensive Master's Call. It's just really super annoying. And it cuts down heavily on the effectiveness of Pharaoh.
Yeah, there is that, and now that I'm thinking about it, too, are we probably, see the Stay Green doing already up there, are we probably going to see a tri-lane here from OTP as well? I guess you would assume that. I mean, Pharaoh and Bubbles solos, and then your Mag Glacius Torturer tri-lane. That's what we could possibly see here. So
It looks like it's going to be a farming Torturer.
you think so?
Yeah, because of who's playing it.
Oh yeah, as Newey's on the Magnus, and
So it's going to be probably a tri-lane bottom with Torturer, Glacius, Magnus, and then Pharaoh probably mid. And then Bubbles solo short.
It is that, yeah. The Guardian Ring on Torture, you got Magnus and his region and whatnot, so definitely is the case. They are sitting those three bottom. Pharaoh also looking to join them. Bubbles kind of a little bit further behind, but he will eventually join them as well. Now it's, again, kind of the question of where does Stay Green exactly lane themselves. Perhaps knowing that OTP is going to run an aggressive tri-lane here. Do you even try to match up against it, or do you just maybe send that Wretched Hag down here to the bottom lane as well? So,
I would say ideally you'd want to throw 1 against 3, but
yeah,
even Wretched Hag would have actually a difficult time against all these stuns coming out from OTP, so that might not be the best decision. I still think that honestly Deadwood down here would probably be the best decision. Deadwood bottom, Wretched Hag top, and then the dual lane mid. But we'll have to wait and see what they think is a little bit stronger or valuable. Yeah. It could just be, actually it's probably going to be a Deadwood solo mid. Or he has pooled regen now with the health potion. That could also be for bottom, thinking that the tri-lane's coming down there as well. But, yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Well, we do have a pause coming out here from One Trick Pony's side. So, again, they're the team that's down 1-0 currently against Stay Green. And it just kind of you just got that feeling that Stay Green not only got a very comfortable lineup, but it's a very good one at that. And maybe not as impressed with OTP's side. So it's definitely going to have to come down to the play here. A One-Trick Pony, I think, is safe to say, as far as this game goes, which we've definitely seen before. I mean, this is a very skilled team. They've proven that. So that's kind of the hype that we're going to work off now. But, yeah, no doubt Stay Green, the lineup and the way that they played in the first game especially, it is pretty damn scary here. So we'll see coming out of this pause how they manage to do things here. While we are sitting in this pause, once again, just to reiterate, guys, well, one of two things. Tralfa, it is going to be his last casting day here on HoNcast, so not only with this match, but then, of course, the grand finals to follow. It's definitely been a lot of fun. We'll have more to say about that later for sure, but you are going to be joining this OTP team as soon as tomorrow, would be my guess. Is that correct? You're going to be playing with them in the qualifiers starting tomorrow for the GSL?
Oh, God, yeah, tomorrow's Monday. I swear, every single time this happens, where I keep thinking today is Saturday.
Nope,
But, yeah.
nope. Tomorrow is Monday. So, yeah, on that, so you're going to be playing. We'll see if we get the chance to cast you. But also, on that note, obviously, we're going to be casting here on HoNcast. I know a lot of people are definitely putting out the question, who's going to replace Trout? When's that announcement going to be made? I will tell you guys right now, there's nothing official by any means just yet. At this point, we are going through a process. Obviously, as you probably see in front of the forum post and whatnot. We are looking for a new co-caster here on HoNcast, and this week, expect at least one, maybe multiple co-casters to kind of show up each day and have some fun with, kind of try things out and just kind of go old school in that sense. So definitely going to be a lot of fun, and, of course, covering the GSL, the qualifiers, that will start tomorrow. Of course, when I'm talking about that 16-team tournament, single elimination, best of the 3, get to the point, winner gets that trip to Thailand to compete for the $60,000 prize pool. So
Yep.
definitely a big. I mean, you could say that even that's kind of on these teams' minds a little bit more than the Cycle 5 here. I mean, sure, in the end, obviously they're still playing great here in Cycle 5 to finish off, but that's a big deal, man. I mean, not only to get the trip, but a good chance at competing for a good portion of that $60,000 prize pool. It is a big deal. So we'll see. Trademark Esports, obviously, and I'm sure they're kind of a favorite by a lot of people, but Stay Green, another team. A lot of people are looking at in that event. And perhaps One Trick Pony with Tralfamador.
Yeah. We'll
Think you guys have a good chance?
Yeah, we'll see. We got a lot of practice to do. So
Yeah. there definitely is that. So it will be the first of 2 qualifiers, with that said. This is the one starting this week, of course, finishing up on Thursday with the finals. And then the second qualifier is on I think it starts the 25th, I want to say, of this month. It's the later portion. It's 2 weeks later, basically, of this month. So, okay, OTP, it looks like they're ready to go. Stay Green agrees, and we are now going into game number 2 here of Stay Green taking on One Trick Pony. This is the loser bracket finals, of course. Winner will play Trademark Esports later on today in the grand finals in a best out of 5. TDM up 1-0. All right, look what OTP is doing. OTP just really loves to do this, man. Go very aggressive, and actually they find the courier right here. But quick press of that W button, and the courier will be more than fine. Not going to find anybody, as you see. Instead, they will disperse. Magnus actually going over here. Those ward of sights. Interesting.
Yeah, and we are going to see the Wretched Hag pit up against this tri-lane.
Yep.
Deadwood solo mid. And there's a ward on to Deadwood as well. Actually, 2 wards. He's going to try to place these so that he doesn't get ganked or anything like that from the enemy team. Places a ward right there. Doesn't give vision of the rune right now, but it is going to give vision of roaming coming around.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see that aggressive tri-lane this time against the bubbles.
Yeah, it is going to be at the top lane, so Xibe will have his work cut out for him. And that's where what we always talk about is, what kind of adjustments are we going to see here? You would think specifically on the side of OTP. I mean, to have these 2 heroes, especially in this case, Iglesias and Magnus, just sit down here at the bottom lane, it does seem kind of silly. Maybe go for a kill, but if it doesn't work, at least get the early start for Torturer. And then perhaps just kind of play more of just a roaming ganking role, or just maybe send the Iglesias mid. I mean, we've seen something like Iglesias before work out. So we'll see what kind of adjustments OTP makes. I mean, you do see off the bat, Magnus is actually kind of roaming around here in the jungle, maybe trying to find that Ophelia, but sure enough, Chessie in the opposition jungle, going to stack the yellow camp here and continue to farm. But yeah, early on, as kind of expected, Magnus and Glacius, they will start to roam a little bit. Heading towards the middle lane, but you talked about this ward aside that was placed by Stay Green. Is going to maybe give the spot here for Swindon Melons, and you do kind of see him playing a little bit more passive now.
Yeah, but he's got the lane coming his way, so he's still going to get CS. And this is a Deadwood, man. You cannot kill this hero right away. They're running by him, but they're just not really going to be able to do anything. So this is just very awkward laning. I just think awkward heroes coming out from OTP. I just don't think they work really at all. Like, you're not going to be able to kill him. In the meantime, you have Ophelia just free farming in the opposite jungle, keeping bubbles down. And Torture against Hag, that's a fine lane right there. I mean, Torture actually should do pretty damn good against Wretched Hag. It is in her short lane, and she does have the constant threat of ganks, perhaps, from the 2 roamers early on. But you're just gonna see. I guarantee you're just gonna see the numbers go up like crazy here for in favor of SG.
Yeah.
As far as both golden experience goes, because you're playing with a jungler against a team that's really not going to be able to get any kills.
I mean, Wretched Hack, she was actually able to get some decent creep farm right there. She is level 3, as you see. So she's actually competing against the Torture fairly well. Now, Magnus is back down here at the bottom lane, so again, he will have that kind of presence. But a level 1 Magnus is honestly not the most intimidating. Very short-range stun, minimal damage, of course. So yeah, Wretched Hack, and on top of that, having the blink, of course, should be fine. And just the idea of a Magnus support, as we always kind of talk about, and as rare as it is nowadays to see this, actually, but the melee support, it's like you can't auto-attack harass like the range support could. So that in itself actually takes away quite a bit. So
yeah, and
right, yep.
I see a lot of teams do this, and they start out with a tri-lane, and they're like, okay, there's one hero here, better move away, like without actually hurting that person a lot. And then it actually ends up helping them because then they get the extra experience. Now Magnus is still down here a little bit, but he didn't really get anything. Like, he got no levels. He obviously got no farm. And it would work if you had like a Witch Slayer mid, or like a Polywog mid, or someone that you can actually kill with Roam. But even then, you have the Ward of Sight that was placed there to spot out the enemy ganks, which you have to assume is going to come out if you do have a predictable offensive tri-lane, which OTP does.
Yeah.
Now, so it's just like, I would at least like to see them crush the bottom lane much, much harder. They didn't even ward it, so actually Hag is going to pull this. It's only going to be a single pull, which kind of sucks for him, but it's going to be something.
Yeah, KSU just going to try to get any type of experience. So is Magnus, for that matter. And
what's Magnus going to do, though?
Yeah, it's a level 1 Magnus by himself. Not much of a threat, as I said. So, again, just no auto-attack presence. You see Wretched Hack just easily clean it up, and as if Magnus wasn't even there. So he's still level 1. May hit level 2 here now in the near future. But you got KSU level 4. I mean, again, his farm not bad. It's not great, obviously, but for the circumstance, not really that bad. Deadwood in the middle lane, you talked about this. I mean, it has kind of been a 2 versus 1 lane for a little bit now with Glacius rotating, but even then, Deadwood's great last hitter with the hatchet, the log. He's now 21-3 compared to your 26-6 Pharaoh, so Pharaoh having the better time, sure, but again, it's a case of at least one of them having something. And then you have the top lane. Obviously, you got Slicks here on Master of Arms. He is 100% free farm. Nothing that Bubbles can do. And then for that matter, Ophelia's also having a great time as far as his start goes. As Aluna's even kind of just supporting this Ophelia, leeching levels in that way. And still remaining to stay up here. Magma's going to stun in here at the bottom lane, as well as Glacius being here. But Wretched Hag, obviously, just kind of hiding in the jungle. They're going to try to take advantage of this, though. They want to try to push this tower. You like this decision from OTP?
I think it's, yeah. I think at least doing something is the right thing. Because they're roaming around, they're getting nothing done, but at least they're making a decision to get a tower down. So they just need to be a lot more, a lot quicker with these ideas and these decisions. Now, that's a great decision. That's fine. But I feel like they could have done that, honestly, 2 minutes earlier if Glacius and Magnus just sat here and spammed out the wave or put a little bit more aggression onto Wretched Hag. Now here's the big thing. You push the tower down there. That's cool. That's great. Actually, Deadwood's going to try to get the punch off onto, oh no, the Hellfire, just making him stutter step just a little bit. And that's what, again, that's what I was talking about. That's one of the bad things about dual laning a mid-hero, especially like Deadwood, is that you're going to actually have him get the experience faster than the hero that you're trying to prioritize the farm onto, which is this Pharaoh. And that's not good. In fact, so it actually helps him in a sense. But now you have the aggression still sitting at bottom, and that's what you have to do. You can't let up, honestly. But the only bad thing is now you have a Magnus that's still only level 2. So.
Well, I was actually just going to, I mean, you look at the experience per minute, you were touching on that earlier, or the experience overall, it's 2,600 experience already, and only 6 minutes into the game here in favor of State Green. Now, again, this bottom tower, they are going to push it, Impalement's coming up in 13 seconds. He is maxing that out right now, so obviously it makes sense for what they're doing here. And they may get this tower coming. KZU's nearby, as here supported from Aluna as well, so great creep clearing potential definitely here now. And we'll see with this next creep wave, maybe if they can commit to it, or if they're going to fall back. It looks like they are going to fall back. Torture's farm, though. He is farming now over 300 gold per minute. He does have Steam Boots and a Ring of the Teacher early on, and at least wants to continue this going somewhat, as Aluna's going to try to scout things out. Meanwhile, with the top lane, Bubbles, a little bit of harassment for Master of Arms coming out. Chessie coming in with the Minotaurs, but no, Bubbles reacting just a little bit too quickly there. And it seems like he should be fine. Chessie, though, farming up the creep wave, as they are going to counter push the top lane, it looks like, as a result of that. So,
yeah. I was just going to say this. Deadwood's roaming down there now. I would have placed a ward if I was OTP exactly where the Legion has their ward. Deadwood's trying to get something. Magnus blinks in, or actually stuns in through the creeps. We're going to see possibly still some initiation.
Yeah,
they spot him out, actually. They see where he is, but can they get him with a Rotten Grasp? He won't even have enough mana, I don't think, for both the Rotten Grasp and the punch. TP coming out from Magnus, but I was just going to say that if OTP still wants to be aggressive and take over this lane bottom, they need vision of the mid hero transitioning down there. So where that Ward of Sight was placed a second time by Swindlemelons, I would have placed it in the exact same spot, but much earlier from OTP.
So they do put a lot of pressure on this bottom tower. It's down to about 370 life, but not enough for the Kami in the middle lane. Tillman in some trouble. Pharaoh is in there. The illusions are up. The Hellfire doing work. Rhymegrass is going to land the impalement, doing some damage to Nurture, but they turn it on to Pharaoh right there as Wretched Act joins that party. Magnus running in late with Glacius as they still want to get a kill out of this. The stun going to happen on Wretched Act. She has a blink up in 4 seconds. Freeze on top of that, though. Anything for Torture. He's out of mana. Not going to matter, though. They will get the kill, but at what cost right here? Deadwood running back, and Glacius will fall. Sitting in the steam bath is Magnus. Luna is also here, of course. Doesn't have enough mana for the power throw herself. And I believe Magnus is going to be fine in the end, although, Chessie actually joining the party. Torture put in the stun on Luna, but look at Chessie surrounding Znui right there with the Minotaurs, the double stun, and down he goes. So action started, and it ain't stopping just yet. Torture now on the run. He's most likely going to fall. Pharaoh joins the party, but not nearly in time. He doesn't have his Wrath, and down goes Torture. So look at how that finished off. It is a 4-to-1 hero kill exchange in favor of Stay Green in the end.
And you're also, again, you're working against the Master of Arms ulti. He's not even there. He's farming the whole time and pressing the top tower, or pushing, at least pressuring the top tower a little bit, and can still have a presence in these team fights. That's why he's so effective. Same thing goes for Ophelia. She wasn't there for the longest time, popped the heal and saved Deadwood originally from the initiation. And even then, he's still so damn tanky. When he has his Steam Boots on strength, 1150 HP. So you're not going to kill him with that much HP on top of the essentially two heals. And look at the experience and gold lead. It's just absolutely massive for SG.
I really hate to say this, especially for this match. Yeah, Glacius going to be picked up right here. It does seem like this is just simply coming back to a case of the drafting not being the greatest, honestly. The laning phase kind of setting up awkward as a result, and we could very likely be seeing a very quick game number 2 finish here in favor of State Green. I mean, you just look at OTP right now. Any positives? There's really nothing. I mean, Torture is up there in farm somewhat, 286 gold per minute, but Stay Green knows they can continue to play aggressive. They easily take out Magnus right there. Maybe even a little bit of overkill, but they got the kill nonetheless. Torture kind of just sitting here trying to keep the lane from being pushed in. But you talked about Master of Arms. See, he's kind of been free farming this whole time. But look at Ophelia and Deadwood, their farm. I mean, this is Deadwood, who's in a sense kind of that 1 versus 2 for a while. The fact that he's now farming 370 gold per minute. He's got his build-up items. Magnus is going to pour back in. Obviously, that's the advantage of being this early on, is they have the quick resurrections. We kind of have a mid-wars game going on here now that I think about it, too.
Yeah.
Both teams being active. Look at Magnus already dropping a half life. That's just from chip damage, basically.
Yep.
So he just kind of has to fall back. But Stay Green knows that they are ahead right now by quite a bit, and they're just going to keep the aggression up. And it's a case of what do you do if you're OTP? You don't have a hard carry to rely back on. It's tough.
It's really hard. I mean, they just really, really lost in the draft. Like, absolutely. And even in the laning phase, there was a lot of things they could have done better. There's the punch onto the Torture. That's the one hero you wanted to have farm. Architiger dies in a matter of seconds. This is just going to stumble out of complete control. Zibba dead. He tries to get the Shell of Surf out, but not even close. And on top of that, tower and mid, one of the most important things. So this is just out of control.
I want to be clear on something. Obviously, you know, I'm sure there might be people saying out there, "Oh, we're depressed that OTP's losing." It's not. It's definitely not that case. At least for me, I think it's the same for you. It's more of a case of you always hope for a good series, especially when you're this later on here in the losers bracket finals. To kind of just see the decision making coming out from OTP here with the laning phase, the drafting. It's unfortunate. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, Stay Green is playing very well. You can't keep forgetting about that.
Oh, absolutely. They really are.
It is setting up to be a great grand finals, that's for sure, with Stay Green versus TDM, and it looks like that is going to be honestly the case here at this rate. But yeah, in the end, one trick pony again. This is the furthest they've ever been. I kind of think that it has something to do with it. In building up that experience, finishing third place, nothing bad by any means, as we keep talking about. But hopefully look forward now and realizing that you still got your work cut out for you, especially at the top tier matches now. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, just look at the levels of Architiger and Snowy.
Yeah,
they're level 4 each. So you got to compare one of the supports, as I always do, to a jungler because you're not running one. So that's 4 to 8 on Chessie, and then 4 to 6 on Z-Freak. So it's just not even close. You have 3 members on SG above 400 gold per minute.
Farrell's trying to survive here. Power throw a miss, but Bat Blast even coming out from Keizu. They really want this kill. The HoN may kill him. No, the regen's just going to be enough. And Farrell will survive, it looks like, in the end. So The kill attempt at the bottom lane, if that power throw connected, it would have been a kill.
Or if Master of Arms used the offensive Master's Call, it would have been a very easy kill.
Yeah, he's busy farming the top lane. He doesn't have time to worry about that. He's Energizer picked up another nearly 1,700 gold. As he is farming 420 gold. It's him, Ophelia, and Dewa just constantly being up there on the GPM charts. So
Bubbles has decided to take over the enemy jungle.
he's trying to find somebody. Solo gank at level 6, yo.
Well, they're going to find him. Actually, the Rotten Grasp onto Torture, no punch necessary. Chessie gets an Ultimate Warrior streak. Yeah, this is just not looking too good. And I agree with you. I was really hoping for, whether OTP win or lose, I just would like to see good games. And unfortunately, it just seems like SG's kind of outclassed them, at least in this series. OTP took them out 2 games to nothing, and that was awesome. But unfortunately, doesn't look like they were going to be able to come out with the same result this time.
Yeah. So, I know people are kind of wondering, so I'll just put it out there, Trout. Knowing that this is the team that you are going to be joining here, I mean, does this phase you at all, that you are going to be joining this OTP team, and, here they're playing against State Grand, and yesterday against TDM, didn't have the greatest performances. Does that kind of phase you, or are you more so even excited for that challenge?
I just think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And like I said, the biggest thing is that I think that they were very used to playing the teams that aren't at this level.
Yeah.
SG and TDM specifically, I think those 2 teams, I mean, for a long time it was complexity, just complexity. Then it was, okay, TDM, and then TDM won DreamHack. This is complexity TDM, and that was it. Well, now it's SG TDM. Those are the 2 teams that are just, in my opinion, way above everyone else. They really are. And so playing these 2 teams, it's way different than playing Lions. It's way different than playing complexity at this moment. A hook on a Pharaoh, trying to actually hook away to save himself, but no, that's just not going to work out. But yeah, I think it's just getting used to the way that these 2 teams specifically play compared to teams like, again, no offense to these teams, but Pencils and I'm failing with the team names, Mistral and just a lot of different teams that aren't at this level. I mean, hell, even Complexity and Alliance, they're great teams, but not at the level of SG and TDM right now.
Yeah, we go through those. I mean, and again, overall, we have plenty of competitive HoN teams for sure, but yeah, again, you are going to have those cases of a lot of the time either that 1 or 2 dominating teams. Once again, we're in that cycle of, I agree with you, obviously, TDM number 1, State Green number 2. Definitely a good portion ahead of the rest, but I will say, we've already been surprised here in this HoN Tour. Wouldn't be surprised if, as it moves on now, as this is Cycle 5 here. Of course, after today, we'll be done with Cycle 5, but that means there's still 3 more cycles to go. Still plenty of HoN Tour left. On top of the GSL qualifiers, that being the single elimination event, so definitely looking forward to seeing, what more changes, which I'm sure are going to happen. Look at Pharaoh; he sells everything. He buys a sacrificial stone, so yeah, it's very evident. It's kind of been that way now for a little bit. You can tell that. In fact, what do we have down here? Look at Snooey's all the way in the other base. Oh, he made it to the well. That's a win in itself right there. As he's going to be killed. But, Dewa jumping in. He is being ported back. He wanted to try to mimic Glaciers. Anyways, we're having some fun. It's 15 minutes in now. He did actually get the kill as he was ported back with the Rotten Grass. That's hilarious. Okay, but there's a vote to concede. Again, it's been over for a while now, as odd as that sounds, to now just hitting 15 minutes. But it was clear that State Green just completely outplayed OTP. Is the simplest way to put it, honestly, in this series. So
yep.
They not only take it, but again, very deserving of a 2-0 series victory here over One Trick Pony. And but again, the good twist on this, we do have a fantastic grand finals yet again being set up. Trademark Esports going to be taking on Stay Green. Once again here in now, of course, what is going to be the grand finals. Now, Trademark Esports, they will be up 1-0, obviously coming from the winner's bracket. But, Stay Green, with what they kind of showed us here, what they've been doing lately, this is a team with a lot of momentum. Things are coming together. Seems like now with Chessie on the roster and everything, it should be an awesome grand finals. I can't see it not be, so
yep.
We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's get your predictions then before we get into that. What do you predict here?
Well, I could see it going the distance. I mean, I don't see why not. Obviously, we are coming off the cycle number 4, where it was the same now grand finals here of TDM versus State Green, and that went the distance. State Green ultimately forced the 5th and final game, where, of course, TDM ended up winning 3-2. But, I mean, why not? Why not have that again? Now, with that said,
I don't think State Green's going to drop a game.
You don't think so,
nope.
Really? You think they're going to 3-1 TDM?
I mean, TDM is kind of considered the top team, but I just think SG's drafting and just the way that they're playing together is just
it's different.
It's at a different level than what TDM is at and ready for. And I think TDM, honestly, We'll have to wait and see. I think they kind of ride this we're first place momentum or idea, and I think it could get the best of them. So,
now,
I mean, we'll see.
That is it. I definitely see where you're coming from, and honestly, I was just about to say I could see State Green winning this 3-2. Now, there was another point on that I wanted to bring up. So you have our standings right now. TDM, they're in a very comfortable #1 spot. I mean, they're even ahead of State Green right now, more than 3,000 points.
Right.
They're well in first place. So you do kind of wonder a little bit if that is on the mind of TDM in the case of we don't need to absolutely win this.
No, I don't think so, because I think the biggest thing here is the money you get from first place to second is pretty big.
It's a $1,500 difference.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's 2,000 third, 2,500, and then 4,000. So
Yeah.
it's a pretty big
That's true.
jump.
There is the
And
money.
I'm sure that's incentive enough to want to try your ass
Very
off.
good point. Very good point. Fair enough. So again, that is setting up to be a great grand finals. But you know what? I'm gonna agree with you. I think it will be 3-2 though. I think we're gonna go the distance. I think it'll be 3-2. But well, maybe a little bit surprised there, but both of us expecting a State Green to perhaps come out on top here.
Yeah.
Of these grand finals. What do you guys think? We'll send out a tweet about that and get your guys' opinion as far as what you guys think. But obviously, with this series wrapping up fairly quickly here, that will mean we are going to have a little bit of a break. It's what is it, 2:11 now Eastern, so the grand finals aren't set to start for really about an hour and a half from now, maybe just before that.
Yeah.
So got a little bit of a break here, just like yesterday, but no doubt it is going to be a blast to finish things off. Obviously, we got the grand finals. It is going to be Charles' last cast ultimately here on HoNcast, so definitely look forward to that as well. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So definitely tune in for that, guys. Take your break, have your lunch, dinner, whatever. Do that exercise that I always promote. And I know people have fun with that. Anyways, have a good break, and we will see you back then. I guess to officially wrap this up, again, congratulations to State Green taking out OTP 2-0. From myself, Breaky CPK. Of course, Tralf Medor here. About an hour and a half from now, we got Trademark Esports versus State Green. Cycle number 5, Diamond Division Grand Finals. Tune in then. We'll see you.